Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me this afternoon. I am grateful for those that have signed up to come spend 15 minutes with me chatting about something I believe is sort of an evolution in IR opportunities that are out there. I'll give it a few more minutes here until I dive directly in. Let's see if we can get a few more of our attendees to pop over. 82 were with us 2 weeks ago, and I think today we had 18 sign up on LinkedIn in the last couple of days. So thank you. I know your time is precious, so I am eternally grateful for those of you to jump in with us for 15 minutes today. Only a few slides, some great information, and then we'll head into a Q&A afterwards. If you have any questions along the way, certainly type it into the chat area on this side. Happy to answer anything at all afterwards. And I know you're likely skeptical. Many were 2 weeks ago when we announced this. But that's okay. I want you to be. And many were years ago when other opportunities popped up like this in the IR space, whether it's websites, social media. And I firmly believe IR mobile apps is the next thing to be there. So those who have joined us, thank you. Grateful for your time. My name is Scott Breard. Many of you likely know me. I recognize many of the names, Nelson Hoots, and a lot of great others that signed up for today. But for those of you who don't, my wife and I operate a company called Stock Marketing here in Oakville, Ontario. Great websites for public companies. We provide social media marketing across all the great platforms. We've developed something called executive branding, where we take over the LinkedIn profile for a CEO or company executive and make sure they're telling the company's story. We have great video interviews, as Nelson will contest to. Pat Ballin from BNN, CNBC, provides our video interviews through todaysstocks.com. And of course, IR mobile apps, which is what we're all here to talk about today. So that's who I am. And you can visit our website at any time, stockmarketing.io, to learn more about us. So why are we here today? Well, if you're in the IR space, a CEO of a mining company, head of IR for any sector, you're always trying to maintain communication with potential investors, and you're always trying to capture the attention of new ones. So I'm going to walk you through this. This might take about 5 minutes, but I want you to come down sort of a bit of a memory lane. I've only been in the industry directly 8 years, although I've been operating online marketing for over 25 years for my own companies and hundreds of others. But if we look at the space and we back up 30 years ago, again, you're CEO, public company, head of IR, they're in the industry. 30 years ago, the only way you had to communicate company content other than a phone call was likely your investor presentation. They're printed and given away at an event, mailed to somebody. I remember back then when I was in university that we would often go to the Globe and Mail and write in about, hoping to receive an investor presentation from a company listed on an exchange. So 30 years ago, the real only way that your company information made it into the hands of a potential investor was through an investor presentation. And I mean, that was cumbersome. You had to mail them out or print them off, spiral bound, take them to a place like PDAC, and hopefully someone would pick it up. Hopefully you got a mailing address for it or a phone number in exchange and began building a database of current or potential investors. But the problem with investor presentations, and they're still around and they're still important, but they don't keep you top of mind. And think about it. Someone may have picked it up at PDAC if you had a booth there, but easily thrown into the garbage. It's taken home. Are they going to remember it? Are they going to see it every day for the next year until they see you again? They can't. And it's really hard to scale investor presentations. It's not like you can just easily mail it out to millions. You need to know who you're mailing it to. They need to request it from you. You're not going to waste the money otherwise. So if you think about it, investor presentations, still important, but they're not going to keep you top of mind with a potential investor. Now let's bring us 20 years ago. Websites came out, and all of you in the industry back then were skeptical and went, do we really need this? And now, of course, you can't exist as a public company without a website. Obviously, people are trying to find them. They want to know more about your financials. They want to read your recent news release. Who's on your board and what's your stock price? Websites are incredibly important. We build them every week for public companies. But the truth is, you're buried in a browser, Chrome, Safari, pick your choice. You're buried with billions of other websites. Unless somebody specifically types in your domain name or has it saved as a bookmark on their browser, they're not coming back to you. You need to find a link. They would need to find a link somewhere on the web in order to encourage them to come back to your website. it doesn't stick top of mind every day unless they're at a lunch talking with friends. Hey, just made a great investment in this company. It's called XYZ. Maybe they are going to the browser. Maybe they're searching for it. So you do need a website, but you're not there top of mind as what I'm going to relate and the ability is for IR mobile apps. So again, website's great, but the problem, you don't stay top of mind. You're buried in a browser. Just like social media, something we also provide. About 10 years ago, you were probably contacted and said, hey, you need to have a social media presence. Let's make sure you're on LinkedIn. Let's make sure you're on Twitter. Let's pump out company information. And it's important. If you're not doing it, you're not capturing the attention of potential investors. But just like websites, you don't stay top of mind. Just because you post something in the morning does not mean you're going to land in the newsfeed of a follower. You have to get these investors to become your followers to begin with. It's great, build it, and you have to. But it doesn't mean you stay top of mind every day to a potential or current investor. It's probably the closest thing to IR mobile website, IR apps, but it's not exactly perfect. You are there buried in Facebook. You are there buried in LinkedIn. They may come looking for you if there's a mention at lunch or a link somewhere on the website, but you're not staying top of mind. It's not something they're going to see every day. Websites are great because they allow you to collect email addresses. Social media is great because they allow you to connect or collect followers through connections or those following your accounts, but nowhere near to the possibility of IR mobile apps. Let's spend a few minutes on why. IR mobile apps is exactly what you think it is, a mobile app for a public company. Why is it great? Well, you're going to stay right on an investor's phone once it's been downloaded. Your information is absolutely buried there on their Android or on their Apple iPhone. Your information stays in the phone with one-touch access. Sounds crazy, but here's why this is so important. North American adults now spend 4.5 hours a day on their mobile phone. Everybody has one, and everybody has it like you do. I'm betting anybody watching this, your phone is likely within 2 feet of you, whether it's within your pocket, it's in your jacket, it's on your table, it's on your desk. It is always within 2 feet of you. And we're able to put public company information there on the home screen of a mobile app with one-touch access away to that company's information. It sounds crazy, but it's absolutely possible. So let's talk about why mobile apps are so important as compared to what it is that you do each and every day as a human being here. 60% of your internet use is on a mobile phone. So rarely is anybody actually on a desktop anymore. More than 50%, 60% are actually using their iPhone or their Android to communicate, stay in touch, and have access to all their apps and information on a phone. 6.3 billion mobile phones around the world. And when I say apps, they're also available on tablets. Doesn't matter if it's an Android or an iPad. 1.1 billion of those are now worldwide. So why the mobile phone? 4.5 hours a day. The average North American adult is now opening their phone 92 times a day. So have a look at some of these apps. You see them every day. You open up your phone. You likely have Amazon if you're shopping. You're likely to have a banking app, buy your stocks, take care of paying bills. Transportation, you're not looking for a taxi anymore. You're likely using your Uber app. Same with WhatsApp, same with your email, same with LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, Excel. You're not going to the browser on your mobile phone. You're opening up the app to all of these potential companies, communication tools, shopping, banking. You're opening up the app on your mobile phone to use this application. And why shouldn't you do the same with your investments? So this is how it's possible. Let's actually get you to go and find one. So what I would like you to do, grab your phone. It's there within arm's distance. If you open up your phone and open up your camera, there's a QR code on our screen. I'm just going to show you how easy this is. Open up your camera, scroll over to your QR code there showing on your screen. If you're already on a mobile phone and you're watching this through your phone or you're listening to it, go to your mobile app store and type in iMetal Resources. This has been the example we've been using these last few weeks as we've just launched this and just got our first one over the finish line with Apple and Android. So there you go. If you've downloaded, you're going to get 2 specific security questions. and it happens no matter what app you're downloading. We allow them to access your information about apps that you visit. It pops up on every Android, pops up on every Apple. And you're also asked if you will allow them to notify you, which is important. We want to use notifications. And you likely get them now. If you downloaded Starbucks, you'll know whenever you're within 100 meters of a Starbucks store. If you hit 5 o'clock and you get a notification from Pizza, well, you probably downloaded their app recently and allowed them to get notifications to you. It's incredibly important. It's probably something you've allowed and just accepted. And it's a great thing that we're going to have available for our IR mobile app users as well. So if you haven't done so already, scan the QR code or head into your mobile phone, head into your stores and type in iMetal resources. And there is our first mining company, public company, as a mobile app that's now available. So there on the mobile app, our first is an IR mobile app. You're going to find their stock price. You're going to find company details, information you would find on their website, you'd find on their social media, you would find in their investor presentation, map of project locations, executive bios, download the corporate presentation, articles, interviews, news releases, everything a public company would want a potential investor to get access to is right there. Share structure, social media links, contact information. Maybe they do want to make a phone call or reach out to you by email. Everything is right there available. And it's in their phone. It's not like it's in a browser and you can barely see it. Less than 40% of websites are actual mobile friendly in the world. If you can imagine, public companies are spending thousands a month to maintain and $10,000 to build these websites out there. But nobody ever goes back and says, hey, how does it look on mobile? Because it usually, fonts are too small to read, images are blurry, nothing is exactly there perfectly. But if you build a mobile app, they're built to be mobile friendly, to easily be visible, buttons easy to click and link. Everything is right there for the user to have access to. Clean, simple, and it's made for the phones, Android and Apple, and all the information a public company would want investors to access is one touch away. Brilliant? Wait until I give you these two highlights. So why is this absolutely brilliant? Well, there's top of mind. If you've downloaded the mobile app for iMetals, it's there on your phone. Their logo is now on one of your home screens on your phone with your swiping through. Their logo is there. And let's remember, if you're like everybody else in North America, you're opening up your phone 92 times a day. And that public company is going to pop into your mind. Hey, did I buy shares? Let's go check out and see if they have a recent news release. I wonder what their stock price is. One touch away from all of that information. And investors, potential or current, will be reminded every day, potentially 92 times, about your company. No other avenue in IR allows this, not social media, not a website, and certainly not printed investor presentations. This is the only way to remind investors to buy more shares, get access to your information through a mobile app. I'm excited. I hope you are too. But here's what else is brilliant about this. Notifications. You're prompted, if you just went and downloaded this mobile app, will you allow notifications? And if you said yes, guess what? iMetal will be able to send a notification to investors whenever they have news release, changes to their investor presentation, brand new interview on YouTube by a third party. All of that will be able to be notified to the iPhone or Android user, and there it will pop up right on their screen. And we've all had notifications come in. Hey, you're within 100 meters of Starbucks. Hey, don't forget to order pizza. Hey, your bank account balance is low. Whatever notifications you get, guess what? You're going to get them from public companies reminding you, hey, did I buy enough shares in this? Should I go check the news release? Wonder what's happening with the stock price. Public companies will now be able to notify investors whenever they have great information. Is that incredible? I think so. So we're going to continue on. Some great comments from Nelson so far, and this is brilliant. And I know it is. That's why we're so excited here at Stock Marketing. So now you're thinking, how do investors get this? How in the world am I going to get this in the hands of investors? Well, we're going to give you all the tools. We're going to give you a link that automatically takes people to the Apple or the Android store to download. You're going to put the link on your website. You're going to add it to your social media posting. You're going to stick it in the bottom of your news release. Hey, visit our website for more information. Hey, download our mobile app. to stay in touch with us, to communicate, to learn more information, to receive updates. You can put a sign up at your trade show, your PDAC next year, put up a QR code that we're going to give you. So as attendees walk by, those 30, 40,000 attendees, or all the other great events worldwide for investors, have a QR code for them and say, scan for our mobile app. You can also mention in the next interview you do, who you're chatting with. At the end of the interview, hey, don't forget, download our new IR mobile app. It doesn't matter if you're on Android, it doesn't matter if you're on iPhone. It's not going to work on BlackBerry for those of you that still have those, but you're able to download it on Apple and you're able to download it on an Android. And here's what's really cool. Everybody makes their way often into their app store. What new app is out? What's happening? What can we go and look for? Your company lands into the business category on both Apple and on Android. So anyone scrolling through for something cool to download, your logo is going to pop up in your company information, and they're going to see it right there in the business directory on both Apple and Android phones. Sound good so far? I hope so. We're excited. So what do you get with an IR mobile app? Well, we develop it. We build it, make it for Apple. We build and make it for Android. It takes 30 days. It's not like putting a website up overnight on Squarespace or Wix. This actually does take some time. We're going to use all of your approved content because you already have it on your website. You already have it in an investor presentation, and that's where we're going to go and get the information. We're going to keep the same fonts. We're going to keep the same hex colors. Your branding's already there with your logo. We're going to keep all that great information, and we're going to maneuver all your information from your website, and we're going to put it into the key spots it needs to be through your IR mobile app. Then after 30 days, it will be designed. Tricky part is next. We now have to work, and we have worked, and Apple and Android have both approved IR mobile apps. We work with Apple and we work with Android to get them up on the app stores. It takes another 30 days. These guys are not moving quick, but we do maneuver our way through it and make sure everything gets approved. It's not like putting up a website where you can just put up anything. Apple and Android have incredible specifics to these mobile apps, and we know now how to work within the framework. So another 30 days and you're up and running. And we're not just going to leave you with the app and you have to try and figure out how to update news releases on there, change corporate bios and pictures. And no, we're going to take it monthly. You have a change, you're going to email it to us. Within 3 business days, your new CFO's information will be there, or a video interview will land there. Within 1 business day, we're going to change your news releases and get them updated on there as well. So send them to us in the mornings. You do a news release and disseminate at 9 o'clock. By end of day, we will make sure that your news release is also added there. And highlight number 2 said, we're also going to notify all of the downloads of your IR mobile app right to the phone of the investors. We'll send that news release out as a notification. We will also take care of any app software updates. Apple and Android have it often. We will be back into your mobile app account, and we will make sure everything is there and updated for you so that your mobile app works nice and there's no errors or anything else to it. And of course, we're going to provide you the QR code you're going to need to show everybody at trade shows and events, and maybe put on a business card. Anytime you want someone to quickly scan with their phone and download the app, we'll provide the QR code, and we're also going to give you the links to get access right directly to the Android or to the Apple store for them to download. Now, here's the most brilliant thing of all, and I'm exactly at 20 minutes, pricing. Why did we come upon this? Well, another industry, another company in a different industry that we owned, we purchased 8 years ago, and it needed a mobile app. And I absolutely researched every mobile app builder out there, and we were over 20,000 across the board to build this thing. Just setup fee. And we were $1,000+ a month, US dollars, to maintain and manage it. It was insane. The organization's big, but didn't warrant putting out that much money to it. I wasn't sure, is it going to work? Is it going to download? But I knew it was something that we needed. I just wasn't ready to make the step to spend that much money. So what did I do? Well, just like 25 years ago, I learned how to build my own website. I learned how to build a mobile app, and it worked. The company is up and running on a mobile app, hundreds of downloads, and we're able to communicate with those that use it, add great information and such to it. I figured, well, if we can do it for this industry, let's do it for public companies. Taught this to our web designers that work for stock marketing, and we're off and running. We now have Apple and Android approving these. We can get them over the finish line, and they're excited about IR mobile apps now being available on their stores. So pricing, like I just said, I spent a fortune. We're not going to charge a setup fee. There is no setup fee to IR mobile apps from stock marketing. Why? Well, let's make this really easy for you. We're going to put you into a 12-month contract. Why? Allows us the month to build it, the month to get it up on Apple and Android, and then it's going to give you a nice runway to build followers over the 12 months. We don't want to do this month to month because this is almost like Squarespace and Wix. The content is held with us. We put it up on Apple and Android. Just like Wix and Squarespace, you're going to make payments to them. You stop making payments. Your website will no longer be there. It's also how mobile apps work. So we get you into a 12-month contract. It's going to be up and running within 2 months. We know you're going to be excited about it. And after 12 months, we'll maneuver and roll along month to month. So what can we do to make this spectacular? Well, let's keep this affordable. We're charging only $750 Canadian a month. Sound brilliant? We know that thousands of dollars are spent on other IR opportunities that are out there. We're going to keep this incredibly affordable for you at only $750 Canadian a month. Can't say pricing's not going to go up to new users within the next few months, but as we've just launched this is the number we're happy with. Our team is building them. They look spectacular. They're complementing the branding of a public company's website. We're really happy. $750 a month, and we'll get you up and running in a 12-month contract. And for people like Nelson, well, we have a partner program. For those of you that are in IR representing multiple companies that are out there, we got a great opportunity for you in a partner program. Let's bring everybody under your umbrella, under ours. Let's get them up and running with the IR mobile app. My phone number is on the screen, and then you can reach out to me following this with any questions that you have. And let's get your entire portfolio of companies. If you're in IR, let's get everybody up and running on an IR mobile app. If you're a CEO of a single mining company, well, $750 a month is still a great price. What you can do to learn more about this, visit stockmarketing.io/pricing, and all the details of what's included is there. You can even purchase right there online with your credit card, and we can put this into queue and get you ready for your own IR mobile app. Sound good? Any questions? Chat areas on the right-hand side. You can see a button to open that up. Anything at all, let me know. I see Nelson's got some questions coming through to me. Absolutely, this is brilliant. And I see some of the other information Nelson you sent me in private. We will certainly connect immediately following this. But if anybody else has any questions, thoughts, comments, we're excited to know what others are thinking about this as well.